Okay, good morning and welcome back to T-Upload TV. Myself, the average golfer, and Joey Datweet are looking at the new rule changes, Joe, that have just come into effect.
Yeah, well, they're coming to effect.
Oh yes, the proposed rule changes. Well done. Ooh, you're on the ball.
I'm on fire today, I tell you.
You're like a litigation lawyer.
I need to be one to read the book.
I know, yeah. Well, the good news is, let's start with the, I'm looking down here because that is my copy, because I study these in a great amount of detail.
Well, especially that one, even though it's 2 years out of date.
This is, well, no, it was 2012 to 2015, but this is, there's been no update since then. But there has been some major changes, and R&A, USGA got their heads together and decided it was time for a change, which I think, well, we'd all agree. I certainly would agree. Whether you all agree is another thing. Let's see what the comments are. But needed an overhaul. This book contains 34 rules, sections. That's now been reduced down, hasn't it?
It's been reduced down to 32.
Sure, man. Come on, the litigation lawyer's gone to pieces.
20, what was it, 22?
22.
So it's down 12 pages.
Yeah, 12 sections. But then within that, you've got, they've also suggested they're going to simplify the writing of the rule book. So being able to interpret the rules should be easier, clearer to understand. So for me, that's all a thumbs up so far, no negatives whatsoever. What we're going to have a look at, there's a few changes, quite a few changes. We're going to have a look at what we consider to be the most prominent, I suppose. Or radical's maybe not the word, but they're certainly, for me, some of these things are long overdue, and it's great to see the changes. So first one, let's start off with, we've got repair of damage on a putting green.
Yeah, so if repairing your spikes and
I think the wording wasn't it virtually
anything, yeah, as long as it doesn't like improve your putt more than it would if it wasn't there.
Right.
If you get me.
I get you, bro.
Yeah.
So the idea is then, I mean, the big one has always been spike marks. That's been the one. There's always been a bit of an issue there. They can be repaired, no issues whatsoever. Second one, this is a major one for me in the ladies' game. I don't see it. I don't know of it happening in the men's game. But caddy standing behind players to assist with alignment, that is now no longer allowed.
Yeah. So if you're taking your swing, you're not allowed to be behind the person.
Yeah, I mean.
Next to them.
Yeah, which I think's, like I said, particularly in the ladies' game, I went to watch the ladies' Open a few years ago, it takes forever.
It's it's a bit...
It's an assistance.
Yeah, it's weird how your caddy can help you.
No, that's definitely, I mean, that's again, needed, got it, thumbs up. Right, you can now, again, these are major changes, these are, for as long as I've played the game, if you're on that green, you're about to put, you've got to have the flag tended or removed as your choice, but whatever, when the ball reaches the hole, no flag is allowed in. That has now changed.
Yeah, it's gone, so you can take it out.
Yeah, well, you leave it in and you can put unattended. So again, I think from sort of, again, this generally probably relates back to the speed of play. So if you're sort of really just off the fringe or on the green front rather, 30, 40 foot putt, your other players are getting themselves together, putting the bags to one side, you can actually now put up, you can put into the hole if you want to, but I think sort of for the longer putts, while everyone's gathering themselves and getting themselves together, you can now put up and not have to worry about someone tending the flag for you. Again, for me, big thumbs up, and I think that will massively improve the speed of play. Next one we've got is the dropping of the ball. Now again, you used to have to be very much arm or hand at shoulder height. Massive change first of all is you've literally got to drop the ball from any height as long as it's not touching any of the ground, leaves, trees, whatever is surrounding, but literally you can drop it an inch above the grass and drop it into situ. And I think again, for me it's more to do with maybe when you're taking a drop onto a bit of a slope and you see the ball roll outside of the kind of the allowed area. Now you can literally just drop it from an inch height. That should eliminate a lot of that as well. So it's again a lot of the sort of faffing round that goes on in golf.
More speed in it.
Yeah, I like it all. Pace of play.
Yeah, this is a big one. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, mainly again, and a lot of these things have been introduced with the idea of modernising the game, making the game more straightforward and reflect that in the speed of play. It's highly recognised that we've got issues with how long it takes to play a game of golf, and they're now saying, Joe,
you have to hit your shot within 40 seconds
of address. So you get to the ball, once you've made your initial address to the ball, they're encouraging you to play within 40 seconds. Obviously, that'll be, I would think, enforced greater in the professional game where you might have match referees and what have you. The amateur game, obviously that'll be largely due to everybody getting a foot up the backside and acknowledging that rule. The other one that I like as well is the playing out of turn.
Play out of turn, which is obviously
it's a massive one. I mean, I think this. I don't think you'll see this in necessarily much in professional golf. It's more in amateur golf whereby if a player is 30, 40 yards to the left of one fairway and a guy is opposite side but 10, 20 yards further back, if you've arrived at your ball, what you would have had to do is the courtesy was to wait for the guy to arrive at his ball because he's furthest away from the hole, first to hit. That is all, as long as his safety is in mind. If you arrive at your ball, like I said, you're quite allowed now. It's not seen as I was going to say disrespectful. It's courtesy, isn't it? Yeah. That you can now play your shot and get the game moving again. I think in the amateur game that's a massive thing. If people would walk to their ball, get ready to play is one thing, but also maybe actually play that shot and keep that ball moving. I think that could be a really good move as well. Next one, searching for the ball.
Yeah, you're now allowed to, if you kick it back,
give it a hoof.
Kick it on.
Yeah.
No, but you don't get a penalty now.
Yeah.
If you kick it while looking for it.
So again, the negative was, I mean, if your ball was in the rough and potentially buried in the rough, you stroking your foot along the grass or kicking around and what have you, if you struck your ball, you were penalised. So it was you were really discouraged from really thoroughly rooting for your ball in some ways, because again, to avoid that penalty. But now if you kick the ball and you find it, you replace it back to whatever is the either the exact point or the nearest point that you can kind of estimate, that's the word. Bunkers again, and we've all, I've certainly been in this position, loose impediments now are allowed to be removed. So you can have like a pine cone leaning up against your ball, a twig, a stick, or a stones. They can now be removed from bunkers. Again, logical move. A big one that's caught a lot of players out in the professional game over the years is and the most ridiculous rule probably that I know of in golf, and that's on a putting green. If your ball moves that address, it counts as a stroke. Well, again, a penalty that's it's largely due to if you see a lot of it generally happens links courses, real tight, fast green, high winds start to pick up, and the ball starts to make a little bit of a movement. When you've addressed, then you'd be penalised, and that is absolutely ridiculous to penalise a guy's shot. Anyway, we're not talking about the negatives. They've changed it, they've amended it. It's a really logical thing to do. Absolutely fantastic. Have I done them all, Joe? Yeah. Well, when I say I've done them all, they're all the ones. There's a lot of changes gone on, but they're the key rule changes that we think have got a thumbs up in terms of I'm looking at it from an amateur golfer. I know that the professional ranks have come out. Rory said fantastic. There's others that are a bit. Said they're not really happy. I think a lot of people think there should be separate rules. Sets of rules for amateur. Yeah, which is an interesting debate. And no doubt the thing is with this, it's a 6-month consultation period, and then after that, these rule changes, if unopposed, will then go into place Jan 2019. And for me, the sooner the better. Looking at it from an average golfer's perspective, not the professional's point of view, so like I said, I can't speak for them. Maybe there are issues that they see a difference between the two games, but for me, these are all very, very positive moves. It's great to see the R&A and the USGA looking at things in a very logical, modern perspective, trying to move the game forward and realising that some of these things are very much dated and need to change to get people encouraged to play the game as much as anything else. So there you go. That's the rules. Big thing as ever, we love the interaction with our audience, so no doubt there'll be lots of opinions out there, I would think, that so let us know what they are. Do you like these rule changes? Are there particular ones that you think are good, some that you think are bad, some that you like more than others, whatever? Fill in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed that one. It's just a quick reference video, so make you all aware, and you'll hear plenty of this over the next few days, and I would think. And I hope to see these in place 2019. Well done to the R&A and the USGA. from Joey the Tweet and the Average Golfer. Get our approval.
Yep.
Anyway, see you soon.
Ladder skater. I like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.